Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Carrie. I'm a 30-year-old vegan living in Bristol in the UK. I have been vegan for over 8.5 years now, and I live with my fiance who is not vegan, but he does eat vegan at home with me. I make content all about living life frugally as a vegan in terms of my grocery budget, so keeping my grocery budget down while still eating really tasty, for the most part healthy vegan foods. This week's video, I'm going to talk you through what I eat in a week, but also how much I spend in a week. So I am going to do a day-by-day breakdown, show you what I eat, and then do a bit of a cost breakdown as well. Now, I do eat out 3 times this week, and I have a separate eating out budget, but I am still going to include how much I spend on that, and then at the end I will just separate out my grocery budget spent versus my sort of fun money spent. We went away for the weekend, so that's why there's more spent in the fun budget than usual, and why I have spent money on the 3 meals out. So there we go. So without further ado, let's have a look at what I ate this week and how much everything costs.
Breakfast this morning is going to be some cereal with some blueberries. The cereal I got from Heron Foods for £1.50, which is a really good deal for this brand. It's normally £3, I think. So half price, what a treat. And it was well within date and everything. So yeah, just love it, really nutty. But I do have to weigh it because otherwise I'll eat the whole box. So it's that good. So I do weigh it to make sure that I'm not overindulging. And then I have blueberries, which were actually left over from my surprise party, and I just froze them to keep them, basically. And then this is the milk, this little oat barista. I've got myself a cup of tea there as well going, so good stuff. This is what it looks like. I've got 45 grams of cereal and 45 grams of blueberries, and I'm going to add the milk, but I am not going to film once I have put the milk on because I like this to be as crunchy as possible, and I don't want to risk it going soggy at all. So there we go. It's lunchtime. I'm not hugely hungry, but I should eat something, otherwise I'll binge later. So I am having this soup with some black pepper and sea salt crackers on the side. Hello, I forgot to film my lunch. I'm so sorry, but I did have the soup and I had 3 of the black pepper crackers. Just gonna have one of my Cliff Bars. I've had these for a couple of days now and really like them. They're only like 111 calories and 4 grams of protein, so not terrible. Not protein heavy, but like enough. And a cup of tea, and I'm just about to do some editing. I've really been procrastinating and putting it off today, or trying to do it and not getting very fast. So I'm hoping my Cliff Bar gives me that little bit of zhuzh and I get it done.
We have some carrots that I want to use up in the fridge, so I am going to roast these with soy sauce and garlic. If you've never had carrots like this before, it's so good. I would really recommend it. So I am peeling the carrots and then just chopping the ends off, and then I am going to sort of quarter them to have them into pieces that cook through easily. I'm just adding that to my little roasting dish here, and I eat one for good luck as well. I love a raw carrot. I don't know about anyone else. And then I add in soy sauce, oil, and garlic puree, and then some onion flakes as well, I believe, and then give that all a really good mix. That goes in the oven for 40 minutes and they come out absolutely delicious. And this is to go alongside our stir fry and tempeh with some sweet chili sauce. So the first thing that I'm doing is just chopping this onion here. I'm not very good at chopping onions, if you can't tell, but it doesn't really matter. I just want bite-sized pieces really. And then I'm going to chop my tempeh. So I've got 400 grams there that I'm halving. So we're going to have 100 grams per person. And I'm cutting these into long strips and then kind of halving them so they are thinner long strips, I guess. They cook really nicely like this. They baked in the oven for about 20 minutes. And now I've just added some oil and my onion to a pan, and then I'm going to add in half of this bag of sliced mixed peppers, which we got from Morrison's for literally 25p once, which was so good. We've still got one more bag in the freezer. So I am just mixing those in and then adding my bean sprouts, and then I add in my noodles and some soy sauce and garlic. That's about it. And this is it all plated up, really good. Carrots were top tier. So day one, my breakfast cost 24p because the blueberries were free to me. They were left over from my birthday party. Lunch on day one was 89p, which is the cost of the soup. The crackers were also left over from my birthday party, so I have not included those in the cost as I did not need to buy them. For snack, I had one of my peanut butter Cliff bars, which came out at 20p. I got a box of 10 for £2 from Rogers in last week's video. And then for dinner, I had the tempeh and noodles with sweet chili sauce, and that came out to £1.23. So all in all, for day one, I spent £2.46. That was just for one person for all of my meals that day. So I definitely benefited from having some of those freebies, and that will continue throughout the week because we've still got loads of leftovers from the party, which is really benefiting me.
Hello, I've just got back from a run. I didn't eat before because I prefer to run fasted because there are no toilets on my route, and if you know, you know. So fasted run for me. I'm gonna have exactly the same as I had yesterday, so my cereal with the blueberries. There's no point filming that again, but here I am. I liked it, so I'm gonna have it again. Hello, it is lunchtime, I'm hungry. I've just had 2 of these, which are like konjac snacks, and they are just in like a spicy sauce, and they were left over from my surprise party. And then all I'm gonna do is boil some pasta, air fry some meatballs, make a tomatoey sauce situation, and we're good to go. I'm very hungry, so I just don't want faff, so I'm just gonna make that real quick. This is how I'm going to make the sauce. So some of this with some seasonings. I am going the most basic meal ever. Pasta is boiling and we have the meatballs in the air fryer. Added in some chopped tomatoes and also some tomato paste along with garlic, Italian herbs and some onion granules. Here we go, lunch. And did you know that that amount of pasta in my bowl has the same amount of protein as those meatballs? Isn't that insane? Who knew?
Dinner was party leftovers, so I had cream crackers, salt and black pepper crackers with some cheese, soft cheese, and some vegan pastrami. Really tasty. So day two, breakfast was exactly the same again. I had my cereal with blueberries and oat milk, so that came out at 24p. Lunch this day came out to 56p, and then dinner was again all party leftovers, so that was entirely free. So for the full day today, only spent 80p, which is incredible, obviously.
Pre-water, that's what it looks like. 40 grams of oats, 2 grams of chia seeds. So to be honest, I don't think that really makes any difference, but I did a couple of like pinches, and then blueberries and banana, and I'm gonna add some hot water to this, cover it with a plate, and then microwave. Here we go, banana and blueberry porridge. Didn't explode, I kept a close eye, so I'm very proud of myself. This is lunch, just 2 pieces of toast with some of the spread on. We are leaving to drive down to Cornwall very soon. We're just going to be staying in a little like static home caravan situation for the weekend, and I am really running late, so this is all I could fix up. Dinner is very quick tonight. I forgot my tripod, which is a whole other thing, but I am just gonna show you little clips rather than the full process. But tonight doesn't matter anyway. We've just got some oven chips. These are the McCain naked ones. They just had them in the shop on the caravan site. And then we brought these with us. These are Lidl's meat-free burgers. These were reduced, as you can see, to 99p, which is great. So you're gonna fry those. Those are gonna go in the oven. And then I have got some cheese to put on top of the burgers, as well as bacon from Aldi. So we'll have a slice of that each on top as well. And then finally, these are the buns. They're large white baps from Co-op, and they were down to 67p. So nice little reduced easy meal
Didn't bring oil with us, so this is some vegan butter that I'm frying the patties in. I'm just giving them a turn around. This is what they look like. And then this was the final result. So I had those oven chips, the roll with the burger, bacon and cheese. I had ketchup with mine and my fiance had vegan mayo. Day 3 was only 10 pence for my porridge and my banana because the blueberries again were still free from the party leftovers. Lunch was 4p. Now I say lunch loosely, obviously I had a couple of pieces of toast. It was 4p for the margarine because the bread I got free off of the Olio app. So 4 pence for lunch, cheapest meal. As a snack, I had some of the crisps that we got from Rogers while we were driving down to Cornwall, and that was 30 pence worth. And then dinner this evening for the burgers came out to £1.76. So for the full day on day 3, I spent £2.20. My fiance cooked us this. It was 1 sausage, 2 slices of bacon, cherry tomatoes, tofu scramble, some hash brown waffles, panini and baked beans.
Okay, I am making risotto for dinner and I'm gonna have sausages in that, cheese obviously, onion and pepper. This is chopped pepper that we got from Morrison's a while ago for 25p. So I'm gonna use, I think, the rest of that. We do have some tomatoes, so I think I'm gonna chop up some of those as well, just cherry tomatoes. And then I've got nutritional yeast, seasonings, that sort of thing. And obviously a stock cube to make the risotto as well. Because I forgot my tripod, I can't film the process as I normally would, so I'll just do point of view filming at like each stage instead. I hope that's okay.
First, I chopped some onions, I made my stock, and obviously the peppers were already sliced, so I added the peppers and onion to a pan and let that cook down a bit before adding in some sliced cherry tomatoes as well. Then I just put that to the side and added in my risotto rice with some stock and added that ladleful by ladleful until it was all absorbed and really creamy. And while that was happening, I had some sausages in the oven, and this is what the risotto was looking like after I took them out. I added everything to the pot, including the cheese, and then I gave it all a really good mix around, and this is what it ended up looking like. It was so tasty. This is my final portion. Absolutely delicious. Now, day 4, I only had 2 meals because we had quite a big breakfast, lunch, brunch scenario. So brunch was £1.35, and that was for everything. The panini roll that we used for that breakfast was free, and that was because we picked it up from Olio. And then dinner came to 99 pence. And again, the risotto rice in this meal was entirely free. I didn't have to pay anything for it. And that is because I did a market research call last week, and it took about 20 minutes, and it was about transport habits in the Southwest. And I got a £5 Amazon voucher for that, and the risotto rice was one of the things that I used that on, so completely free to me. So that means that the total for day 4 came out at £2.34. We had a roast at a place called the Smugglers Inn in Seaton, and this was a lentil loaf with roast potatoes, roast parsnips and carrots, some cabbage and some green beans with some vegan gravy as well, and this was really delicious. The lentil loaf was huge. I only managed half of it. I'd really recommend this if you're in the area. Then I just had some of these bean curd snacks, which are kind of like a jerky, I suppose. They're fake mutton flavour and they're really tasty. And then I had some cheese and crackers for my dinner because obviously we had a big roast dinner and we weren't feeling particularly hungry after that. Day 5, we did eat out for lunch. So this was a roast dinner and also a pint of Coke. I know, I've said that I need to cut down on the fizzy drinks. So only going to have them when I'm out, but I do need to do better. I'm a bit ashamed of myself for that one. Apologies. After literally stating last video, I'm not going to do fizzy drinks and then have one. So anyway, for the roast dinner and my drink, that came out to £19. And then for dinner, everything we had, it was just cheese and crackers, was left over from my birthday party. So again, that was entirely free. So day 5, £19. Ouch. But that does come from the fun money pot. Brunch was a place called Fig and Thyme, and I had this avo on sourdough with vegan feta and tomatoes and a chai latte with oat milk. This was so yummy. They did some sort of basil oil on the top as well, and it was delicious. And then this lentil bolognese with broccoli for dinner, which my lovely fiance made for me, hence no cooking shots. Day 6 had another meal out. Again, this was a brunch. We met up with a friend who lives further down that way, so that was really lovely before we drove back to Bristol. So I had avocado toast with tomatoes and vegan feta and a chai tea latte with oat milk. That came out to £14.90, and that again will come from the fun budget. As a snack on the way back, when we were driving, we had some more of those crisps again, so 30p for that. And then dinner, which was the lentil bolognese, came out to 99 pence. So for day 6, spent £16.19. I thought I'd switch it up today and have the last of my chocolate granola rather than the Jordan's Chunky Nut cereal, but I'm still having that with blueberries and oat milk, as you can see, and my cup of tea. I never go a day without a cup of tea, I would say. And then for lunch, I am doing a ramen bowl. So I've just got this smoked tofu from Lidl that I'm chopping up into chunks. I'm then going to add it to my air fryer. So to this little silicone thing, I am adding some garlic and onion seasonings as well as some chili flakes, and then I'm going to add in some sesame oil as well and give that all a really good mix. And then this was in the air fryer for 15 minutes at 200 and came out really nicely. Now I'm just chopping 2 big mushrooms and 1 leek. This leek was on offer from Co-op a while ago and it needed using up, so I'm making a creamy mushroom and leek ramen, which should be super yummy. So I'm just adding some oil to my pan. This is going to be a 1-pot sort of thing. Add in my mushrooms and my leeks and give it a good mix with that oil there, and just make sure everything is covered. It's going to reduce down really nicely. At that point, I'm going to add in some sesame oil, some garlic granules, and some chili flakes, and then I'm going to follow up with some soy sauce as well, and again give that a really good mix and let it reduce down somewhat before I add in the stock. I've just got a really basic Knorr vegetable stock cube here. You can add a mushroom one in if you fancy, but I don't have any of those in at the moment. So I'm just adding some hot water, and then I'm adding in my noodles. These were the really cheap ones from Rogers. They are a little stale, but they're still safe to eat, so I'm eating them. So I give that a good mix. This proper nutty peanut butter, I'm adding in over a teaspoon there and giving that a good mix before adding in a little bit of oat milk to get that nice creaminess with the peanut butter. And then I'm also going to be adding in some nutritional yeast as well as some garlic granules too. This just makes it taste so good, so creamy and delicious. And then I'm going to add it to my bowl, and I'm going to get the tofu out of the air fryer and add that to the top as well, and I'm left with this delicious massive bowl of ramen. At Bella Italia, I got this vegan margherita pizza with added mushrooms. I also had some plain fries on the side and a pint of Coke, and this was really good. And then finally, day 7, breakfast came to £1.04. I'm paying for my blueberries again. I ran out of the free ones, so I had to go to the shop and buy those. So, a bit painful. Lunch was £1.33. The sesame oil used in this meal was free because, again, I used the market research Amazon voucher to get sesame oil as well. And then dinner. So we went to Bella Italia because I found online a £15 off £30 spend voucher. And that is something that is still valid until the 16th of November. So there's still a few days left on that, guys. If you did want to go to Bella Italia and save yourself £15, then you just sign up on their website. So anyone can do it. It's entirely free to do. So I got that voucher. So then dinner would have been £16.50. However, I also had a gift card for Bella Italia, which is also why we went there. So we did not actually pay any money for that. I just used my gift card. So the day's total was £2.37 for day 7. So that is everything that I ate and spent this week. So let's break it down. The total spend for the whole week, including eating out 3 times, was £45.36. This is for one person. Obviously, my fiance came along with me and ate all these meals with me. So kind of double it for him, I guess. It would have been £90-ish for the both of us. However, I did mention that eating out comes out of my fun money budget and not my grocery budget. So if I break that down further, I spent £33.90 from my fun money budget. And then from the grocery budget, I spent £11.46 for a full week of meals. Obviously, not including those ones that we had out. But I think this really goes to show that I have been picking up deals and filling my cupboards and freezers with good deals. And it means then when we're making meals throughout the week, I wasn't focused on what's the cheapest thing I can make. I was literally just compiling ingredients from things I already had, or, going to the shop and adding a couple of bits from Lidl, but ultimately it ended up being a really cheap week. And if you do this week on week and build your stockpile, then you are going to find that you're going to have a consistently much lower budget needed for the week. Now, obviously, I did have 3 meals out, but I would say I spent just under £12, not including those 3 meals. So it definitely would have been under £15 if I had eaten all of my meals at home. So I still think that's really amazing and a good thing to be doing. So this is my little shout out to you guys that veganism does not have to be expensive. It can be. You can go out and have a £19 roast dinner, which was really good, by the way. I will leave links to the places that we ate in the comments. And it can also be really cheap, as demonstrated with these meals this week. So you just look out for the clearance, you look out for the good deals, you stock up when you see them, and then you reap the benefits in the weeks and months following. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, hype it, leave me a comment, and do share with your friends as well. I'm also over on Instagram, so if you like this content and you want to see a little bit more from me, then do follow me over there as well. I'm at Frugal Vegan UK, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.